I was in my college apartment, and my roommate had just moved out. Her room was directly across from mine, with the living room between us. I had cleaned out her room, and then closed the door. I left my bedroom door open when I went to take a shower one night. My bathroom was connected to my bedroom. I also happened to leave the bathroom door open. While I was in the shower, I thought I could hear a woman talking. I had never been able to hear my neighbors talking before, but I figured they just so happened to be talking in their bathroom, which shared a wall with mine or something. When I got out of the shower, I was surprised to see a black void, where there should have been the bright white closed door reflecting in the moonlight. I figured I just forgot to close the door, and went and closed it. The next night, I once again went to take a shower, and left my room and the bathroom door open. But this time, I checked to make sure the other door was latched, and the front door was double locked. When I came back out, I once again saw the void with the door wide open. I slammed my door closed and locked that shit so fast. I convinced myself that there was a logical explanation, so the next night, I once again checked all the doors, and then closed my bedroom door. This time, I came out of the shower and my bedroom door was open, along with the other door. I showered and slept with my bedroom door locked from that point on. This is still the creepiest thing that's ever happened to me. I was awake by myself one Saturday morning in the 80s, when I was around 7 or so. I believe my mom was the only one home, because my dad had went to the lake to go fishing that weekend, and I'm not sure where my older brothers were, and maybe with him. Anyway, my mom's sleeping in, and I'm in the living room by myself, watching Saturday morning cartoons, and making a fort out of sheets and cushions. Something made me turn around, and I saw my dad in his pajamas, standing in the hallway entrance, with his hands on his hips, looking at the mess I was making, and shaking his head. He then turned around and walked into my room, which was just off the hallway entrance. Dude, I didn't even look. I just booked it to my parents' room and woke my mom up. I don't remember what happened after that. This was around 35 years ago. And yeah, my dad was fine. Nothing had happened to him. He came home later that night. One night, I wasn't feeling very well, and the upstairs had a larger bathroom. Downstairs was an old half bath that I wanted to leave for my wife, in case she needed to use it that night. So, I figured I might as well sleep in the guest room. My wife didn't have a problem with this, as she had to work early the next day, and I was constantly getting out of bed with food poisoning. At some point in the night, I awoke to the door slowly creak open, and a female voice asking if I was feeling alright. I assumed it was my wife, obviously, and replied, "Yes, honey, I'm fine. I'll see you in the morning." But the door never closed, and no footsteps went down the stairs, as I would have heard them in this 1800s home with original wood floors and stairs. We were alone in the house that night. I asked my wife about it the next morning, and she said she never came up to check on me. She didn't even wake up during the night. I was facing away from the door when it happened, and the unexpected silence following the question made me turn over to check. The door was wide open, no lights were on, and I didn't hear footsteps or any other noise for the rest of the night. About 15 years ago, I was trying to sleep when my ex got out of bed to get ready for work. He would sometimes do a workout before a shower, but for some reason, he decided to do his workout in the bedroom. I was really tired and tried to keep sleeping. I hadn't opened my eyes yet, but his breathing was getting really heavy and raspy, and I was unable to get back to sleep. His breathing was so heavy and weird that I got mad. I turned over and opened my eyes to tell him to shut up, only to find nobody in the room. The breathing suddenly stopped, and I got a chilling feeling. Then I stepped out to find that he had been upstairs in the shower. Many years ago, when my now 28-year-old daughter was still an infant, me, her, and our dog were at the apartment that we were living in at the time. My wife was at work. I was sitting on the couch watching TV. My daughter was asleep on a blanket pallet on the floor, and the dog, a German Shepherd Wolf hybrid mix, was about 10 feet away, laying in the doorway between our kitchen and living room area. At any rate, I was watching whatever it was that I was watching, when all of a sudden, Thor, our dog, starts with this low-level, guttural growling. I figured that he had heard someone in another apartment, or walking by through the parking lot, and I don't think much of it. After a few seconds pass, I notice that it's getting louder, and I can see out of the corner of my eye that he has lifted his head up off of his paws, his ears are perked, and he's looking up at the ceiling, over where my daughter was laying. I look up, I don't see anything, and I tell him to knock it off. Right after I tell him, he jumps up, starts circling my sleeping daughter, literally walking around the pallet she's laying on, and growling more and more intensely, even stopping once and outright snarling and snapping his teeth, all while staring at the ceiling. After about 2 minutes of this, and me having no clue on what to do since I can't see anything, and I don't want to reach for my daughter with him circling her like that, he laid down next to my daughter, rested his head on her back, and stayed like that for almost an hour, still intently staring up at the ceiling, and occasionally growling. To this day, I have no idea what the hell was going on, or what he saw or sensed, but it was extremely creepy to me. I saw the woman who used to live in the flat below us, standing in my hallway when I was around 4 or 5. She used to come up to our flat to escape her abusive husband. I remember she waved at me and went to her left, which was toward the front door, but I didn't hear the door open or close. When I told my mother, the lady downstairs said hello to me. My mom and her friend went white, as she had hung herself months before. I still have recurring dreams about it, and there's no logical way of explaining it.